welcome to Writing with Emotion. On this channel here, we're going to do some things like just build basic foundations for some tunes. We're going to write the tracks and get them started, and just a good, like I said, a good foundation. And then we're going to hand those over to Emotion, where he can either do some videos with them or do some live sessions and things like that. But here, we're going to start from scratch each time we come in. Every time I have an idea, I'm going to try and capture it here, just to let you guys see how I think and how I put things together to end up where I have a decent result, at least it's decent in my opinion, with my music. So here we go. So as you can see here, I'm using a program called Sonar Professional. I've been using this program for, a little over 5 years now, so it comes kind of second nature to me. It was a beast when I first got it because there's so much stuff that you can do inside this program that you can actually get lost in it. But we're going to start from scratch. Like I said, normally I would come up here and I would open a program, and right here I would go to File, and I would say New. But since I've already got one open, I don't want to open a second one, which may cause it to crash. So we're going to leave that alone. So this is a new session here. So click off of it. So I have this one track. The only thing that's on there is this microphone track, and I went ahead and loaded that because if I didn't, you guys wouldn't be able to hear me. Okay, so with that being said, I have in mind something, it's a slower tune. I've put out a few up-tempo pieces, but this is a slower tune. So, and I'm gonna see if I can at least put the basics of that tune together while they're still fresh in my head. So the first thing I'm gonna try is a keyboard or piano sound. So let me get that loaded for you. So here I would just go to my insert button, and I'm gonna say soft synth. Now audio track, if you go back here to audio track, this is where you would put vocals and things like that. So I'm gonna go to soft synth, and I'm gonna use the Cakewalk Sound Center because there's some sounds in there that I know, just from messing with it, I know that this is where I want to go. So I'm just do a simple instrument track at this time. Now you can see there's all kind of things that you can pick, like MIDI source, synth track folder, and things like that, but that's a totally different video. We're not going to get that in depth at this point. So we're just, like I said, we're just going to try and do the basic foundations for a tune. Okay, so we're just going to say okay here. Excuse me one sec. All right, so now we have the Cakewalk sound up. So I want to go to piano, electric piano, and Rhodes right here because I really like the sound of that. So I'll double click that, and here we go. I can test it by just pushing it. So that is the sound, but I want to modify that a little bit because I like some pulse in it. Well, I'll tell you, this is what it would sound like without anything added, and it sounds decent, So it sounds decent. So, but if it's a ballad or something, I like to put some pulse in it and a little brightness. And I don't know if you can tell different, but I definitely can if I'm playing it now. Okay, so I like that sound, so we're going to keep that. Then we will need another sound. So I'm gonna go to Cakewalk sound again. I'm gonna try and keep this real simple. I'm gonna say okay. So let me rename this one first. This is gonna be the Rhodes. And we want this is gonna be our bass. So we're just gonna put bass. Okay. So now I get the pickup bass. So I like synth basses. So I'm gonna go here to synth basses. And usually this one right here. You have to be careful with this one. I'm not going to alter it any. However, you may have to turn it down because it's usually pretty strong. See what I'm saying? Okay, so that's pretty good. And now I need a drum track. So those are three basic things that I usually use when I start writing. So that kind of like pulls everything together. So I'm going to do insert here. Go soft synth again. I've got all kind of drum tracks in here, you know, like this addictive drums. This is like for funk and, you know, hard hitting bass, you know, with the triplets and things like that. I mean, it's more or less for, you know, like I said, that funk, that rock, that really solid feeling, you know. But for ballads, it's probably not the right drum kit to use. So I'm gonna go to this drum kit, which still has a lot to offer, but it's nothing near what's on the other program. And this one too, it's number 4. Make sure I turn that down because it tends to be a little loud too. So if you wanted to just, you know, just see what it sounded like, you know, you just open up one and just click anything in. Now, then you can alter all of these sounds right here on the bottom. But we're going to go to this ballad that I got in my head, so I don't lose track of that. Jazz and blues. Even though it's a ballad, I like some of these jazz drum tracks. Okay, so just to let you know, whenever you open up a new session in Cakewalk, it always defaults to 120 beats per minute. So ballads are usually, for me, they're 70 to 80. So I'm gonna start at 70, and if I need to speed it up a little bit, I will. But I think this is the track that I want. Okay, so I'll take the cymbals down just a little bit. I like the rim shot sound. I'll take that bass drum down just a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want to do with that. Okay, so once I figured that out, I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna drop it on this track. So I'll take this right here and I'm gonna drop it right here, and I usually start on the second measure. Then I can close this out. So tell me now, if I hit my space bar, I should be able to hear it, and when it gets to the second measure here, there we go. So that's in there. I'm gonna move this here, this dot out the way, so we don't need that. So now you can see that we have our drum track in there. So, but if we're playing and there's not somebody up there saying, okay, you know, this is like your downbeat for number 1. If you don't have somebody actually doing that, it's hard to tell when they come in. So I always do a pickup on my drum track so I know when to start singing or playing. And so it'll be something similar to this here. So it kind of lets me know that that's coming up where I can start playing. All right, so I'm gonna extend this drum track out a little bit so it doesn't stop while we're messing around here. So I just drag it out, and it's gonna loop that same track, that same pattern until I tell it to stop. Okay, so we got that started. So in order for me to put the sounds in there from the keyboard, if I want to go to this piano next. So I have to arm it by clicking this red button, but then I'm gonna start recording right here with this record button. But I need to back this up so I have enough room to get back over here to start playing. And this is like a little metronome. If you want to use it, I'll let you hear what it sounds like. You know, and that's good to keep you right there in the pocket. You know, if I wanted something like a laid back tune, I might do that while I'm recording. But with a ballad, I want it to be more of a smooth type of deal. So I will not use the metronome while I'm recording. but I will record this track. But let me tell you this before I record. So usually when I'm writing a song and I'm thinking in my head, I usually use 2, 4, or 8, and I'm talking about chord changes. So some songs are just 2 chords. I have written songs with just 2. Majority of them are 4, and when I get into more of the jazz ballads, they're usually 8 chord changes in the song. That's not including the bridge and things like that. So but this one is going to be, I think it's going to be 4. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm going to try and lay these tracks. So y'all bear with me. If I mess it up, we'll start all over again and we'll do it again. So there, we got back to 1. So in order to keep me from having to play and play and play, I'm going to cheat a little bit today. So I'm going to take this. These are the tracks I just laid. So I'm going to just back it off of that measure just a hair. Now I'm going to right click and I'm going to say groove crip looping. And I'm just going to continue there. Alright, so then I'm going to pull it over. I do want to check and make sure that it stays in time. Let me see, pull it out just a little further here. Alright, so I want to do that at least twice. I want that to repeat at least twice. And the reason I say it because the first 4 measures or so is going to be kind of like your intro. And I usually do an intro if I'm doing a ballad. The intro doesn't include the bass in the first 4 measures, and that's just the way I write. So I'm gonna let the first 4 play. Then I'm gonna try and add a bass line in my head, and then we'll go back and record it. So here's the bass line, let's see. Maybe just a little loud. So I'm going to add it this time, but I'm going to come on over a little bit. See, where does it split? I think it was about 10. Let's see. All right. So I don't know if you noticed, I was playing it before down here, and it's way too muddy for this ballad. So see, that's a little cleaner versus. Now if I'm doing some funk, I'll be down there all day. But, okay, so let's try that again. Maybe something like that. that's in there, but it's kind of heavy. So let's listen to, we might have to back that off a little more. So it's in there. I don't particularly like it, so let's do that one more time. It's just not smooth enough. So let's try it one more time here. So that's just, that bass line is going to continue at least until the bridge, so we're going to loop that also. But we're going to, like I said, always make sure that when I do that, that I don't throw the timing off. And the timing is still good. Okay, so right now, we have these three lines, these three different instruments, these three different sounds. We're going to keep those guys going for a while. So I'm just going to control click on all of them. I'm just going to pull them all out. Just for a few more measures. Okay, so back to the top. So one thing I do, anytime I'm doing a ballad, or 99% of the time I'm doing a ballad, I love to have strings. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to insert some strings. So I'm going to go to there. We're going to take them out of Cakewalk again. Now there's some better strings in here, but they're really, really touch sensitive. And I would have to lay them, and then I would have to work them. I can lay a track with those strings. But it may take me an hour to go through and get it like I want it. So, but we're going to do these. These are basic, but they're still going to do what we need them to do. So we're going to go to section strings, and I love cello. Let me see if this is going to give us the sound. It's prettier, so we're going to use those, and in the intro we're going to have strings until the first verse comes in. So I'm going to lay those in there for you. See, that's basically the intro. Now I'm going to do a little bit more to it as we get into it, but I mean, if I had to walk away from it, that would be a pretty decent introduction to the first verse of the tune. So if you want to listen to it all together. chord. Now, when I'm writing, you know, you got the intro, and then it breaks it down. You know, and I kind of like break the song down to bare minimum and the vocals through that first verse, so you can actually hear the vocals and kind of draw the person in. And now I'm into the second verse, so now we're starting to build it, so I'm going to add more sounds in the second verse. And the first thing I'm going to add back in is the strings that we took out during the first verse. So I could cheat, copy and paste, but that's not what we're doing today. Just trying to show you guys how I do this. So I'm actually going to record them in here. So now we really have a good foundation going so far for this tune. So let me preface this just a little bit. So what I was thinking, you know, and I'm trying to paint this picture for you about this song that I'm writing now. So I walk into this beautiful ballroom, and I see on the very far wall this silhouette of this very beautiful lady, and I can tell she has this gown on and it's just flowing, and it's almost like she's glowing. And I'm looking at her, and she is just gorgeous. She is beautiful, you know, and all of these guys around her, you know, and she just refuses to dance with anybody. She just wants to stand over there by herself. And so what I'm thinking is that I want to dance with this lady, you know. So, and you know, when the way I write my music, I usually don't write it with a pen and paper. I usually sing what I'm feeling, and you know, and sometimes it may take me a little longer than some writers, but I sing it, and then I go back and listen to it, and then I edit it from that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to sing a verse of what I'm thinking, maybe two, and then we'll go back and fix it. If I decide to keep it, you know, we'll just work on it from there. If not, you know, I may delete it later and go back and rework it. But that's kind of like how we're going. So I'm going to, forgive me if I mess this up, but here we go. Test one, yep. I see you standing there. Your beauty fills the air. You turned away every dance, so I don't even know if I have a chance. We stand there, our eyes meet. It was like it's supposed to be, and I hope you feel the same, but I don't even know your name. All right, so let's see what this sounds like here. So I'm gonna I'm gonna make this track a little bigger so I can see where I actually start singing versus the testing and stuff. So I'm just gonna push that forward so it won't play back this part here. So that looks like about where I started singing. So let's start it from the very beginning.
See you standing there. Your beauty fills the air. You turned away every dance, so I don't even know if I have a chance. We stand there, our eyes meet. It was like it's supposed to be, and I hope you feel the same, but I don't even know your name.
Oh, I just heard something. So let me see, where was it at here?
But I don't even know your name.
Alright, so I'm going to insert an audio track, actually two of them, because I do all my background vocals and everything, but not so I heard something that I think I can make it sound pretty. So I'm just going to put all that. So I like to group all of my vocals together. So when I'm doing vocals, I go here, you know, and I have to change this here from none. I have to go here, and I always do left side, because when I do left, it splits it evenly. If you do stereo, it kind of gives this weird effect, which would be okay if I was playing live. But I want to do it like this here when I'm recording, do both of them on the same channel. So this, I'm going to unarm this one, and I'm going to arm this one. I'm going to take this off. So this allows me to hear what I'm saying. So I can't hear myself right now. I click that and I can hear it. So I'm going to change it to this track. But if I have multiple ones clicked, it gets louder. The more I have clicked, the louder it seems like I'm talking, and the louder I'm singing. So it doesn't give me a good mix. So,
but I don't even know your name.
Alright, so I'm going to add a little harmony here.
But I don't even know your name.
Okay, so let's look at this one. Let's pull that up to about right there. And the reason I shut these off, because if not, any kind of background noise that's in the room or something like that, you can hear it. I can hear, you know, down the hallway. I can hear if somebody goes in the restroom, flushes it, picks all that stuff up because this mic is so sensitive. So I just turn it off when it's not recording. But one thing I will do, I will add a little echo, a little reverb to backgrounds. And I'll put on default, but I add just a little extra because it's background. And let's see what this sounds like here.
But I don't even know your name.
But it's a little loud, so we're going to open this back up.
But I don't even know your name.
Alright, so I'm going to do it in unison, but you'll see the difference when I add two people doing the same thing versus that one. So that's armed. I got that one armed. All right.
But I don't even know your name.
So let's do the same thing here. Push that over, and we're gonna pull this in. Gonna add a little reverb right here. Let's try it again. Insert effect line. Reverb. All right. So then I'll turn this up just a little bit more, and I'm gonna have to turn it down. The more vocals you add in a certain area, especially if you're doing chords and stuff like that, or harmonies, you have to turn those down.
Your name.
So let's try it again.
Your name. Your name.
So there's a lot of reverb on that one. Let's open this one back up for a second.
Don't even know your name.
All right.
Don't even know your name.
All right. So I think we're going to name this "Save That Last Dance for Me." By the way. Okay, so we've basically written a song. So, but now we need to add all of the nice touches and the feels. So let me see here. So I'm gonna add another sound. So I'll set it. Not sure what I want to put in this. I just thought of something. Let's see. Let's go down here to Dimension. This is another great instrument pack. There's tons of sounds in here. So I'm gonna go to pads. I'm a trumpet player, so I like these soft horns. Let's see if I can make something work. Okay, it's just, let's see, because I hear something like. Okay, so I'm going to record. I don't know if it should be. Yeah. It needs to be down here an octave. Since it's nice and pretty, we want to keep it all kind of smooth here. All right, so we have this one too, so let's see. We may or may not use it. Maybe too much. Let me see here. I hear it maybe after the intro. Let me see.
I see you standing there. Your beauty fills the air. You turned away every dance, so I don't even know if I have a chance.
No, we're gonna leave that out. All right, so we have basically a strong foundation for a tune, and I think at this point I'm gonna send that on over to Emotion and let him finish it up. So guys, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. You know, it's a new channel for me, you know, so we're just getting started. This is the very first video. But this is the kind of content that this channel is going to put out. You know, we're gonna write songs from scratch, at least build the foundation, and then we're going to pass them on. All right, guys, thank you very much. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.